Black Friday can either be one of your best DoorDash days or a complete nightmare where you sit in traffic, hate your life, and make less than a regular Friday. I've been through a lot of Black Fridays as a DoorDash driver and also a gig worker through my multiple apps. So in this video, I'm breaking down exactly how I work it and when I don't, so you can actually make money and not lose your insanity. Let's talk about if it's even worth it, the best times to work, where to dash, what to decline, and how to stay safe out there. First thing I want you to decide honestly, should you even work Black Friday in your market? Black Friday is not automatically a gold mine. Let's keep it real. It really depends on how your area handles shopping holidays and if restaurants are actually busy and how bad the traffic actually gets in your area. In my experience, Black Friday can be great if you're in a suburban area with lots of chain restaurants near shopping centers and people are just too tired to cook because they spent their entire day shopping. It can be terrible if your orders are all from inside packed malls with no parking, long waits, tiny tips, or people just aren't into ordering because they already have food at home. So ask yourself, do I have zones with good restaurants that aren't inside a mall? How was it last year? Did I actually make more than a normal Friday? If the answer is no, it might be a better day to rest and work the rest of the weekend. See, the thing with the gig economy and also with DoorDash is you can work whenever you want to work, and if it's not working for you, you can just go home. That's the beauty of flexibility. If you decide to work, timing is everything, at least in my opinion. Black Friday isn't your typical Friday schedule because people aren't working and it's not like your typical lunch rush, dinner rush. Here's what I've seen in my market. So mornings from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. shoppers are out, but restaurants aren't super busy yet unless you're focusing on like Dunkin' or bagel stores or something breakfasty. Breakfast can be hit or miss depending on your market. So late morning, early lunch, it can warm up a little bit as people are out shopping and want something quick. But are they really ordering to their house? That's what you have to ask. Afternoon from like 1 to 4, this is usually the weird slow window where people are shopping and not really ordering. Dinner, this is where I usually see the best orders on Black Friday. People are tired, they're done shopping, they just want their food and they want it delivered. The only thing is it can be a little demanding. Personally, I like to skip the very early morning and test like the late morning for like a couple of hours. And then I'll go home and then I'll really focus on dinner where the best tips usually show up. If you're banking on shopping, it's really not a big food shopping day because everybody already did their food shopping before Thanksgiving. I encourage you to use this year to learn about your market. Pay attention to which hours actually paid you the best. And remember that for next year. A lot of it is memory and going through the experience so that way you can learn and you know exactly what to do for the next coming year. Okay, we're talking 2026 already. Next, where you work on Black Friday matters just as much as when. So for me, I try to work near shopping areas, but also have restaurants too, and also a combination of fast food if they're actually good in your market. That might not be the case in a lot of your areas, but not inside the actual chaos of a mall. Look for zones that have clusters or regular restaurants. Think fast casual, pizza, wings. People want to grab and go, and people love to order their favorite places when they're just tired. Places I'm extra careful about that I avoid with everything in me. Huge malls with parking garages, big box stores where you have to fight for spots in order to get in, restaurants that are inside mall food courts. Oh, that's a nightmare. Why? Because your $10 order can turn into 30, 40 minutes of fighting traffic, trying to get a parking spot, walking long distances, and then waiting in line. It's not worth it sometimes. If I know a restaurant is inside a disaster zone on Black Friday, a lot of times I will not work that area knowing that. Learn from your mistakes, but I try to avoid malls at all possible during this time of year. Okay, so let's talk about declining. Now, as you know, I'm a platinum dasher and I maintain a high acceptance rate, and I know you might too. But you might want to save some of your declines for this day because you never know what's going to come into your phone, whether it's going to be a good day or a bad day. Black Friday will sometimes throw you some junk. And if you start accepting everything because you're trying to maintain and you're trying to keep busy, your hourly rate might tank instead of actually make you money. A lot of times you have to think and outweigh if an order is worth taking and accepting versus declining. A lot of times it is thinking through and taking those full 35 seconds to make the decision. I feel like this day I save my declines so I can be slightly more picky, especially when it comes if I'm around a mall area or a really high traffic area. Also, pay attention to time. If it's going to take like 30 minutes, 40 minutes for just one order, is the dollar amount worth it? And that's another thing you have to factor into your decision making in accepting orders. Remember, on days like Black Friday, your time is your biggest asset. And sometimes it's easier to cut your losses in an acceptance rate to make money on the back end and get bigger orders down the road. Okay. Now let's talk parking and safety, because Black Friday drivers can be a little wacky and wild. A few things: if you know your area like the back of your hand, plan where you're going to park. Sometimes parking a little further away and being by entrances means a quick in and out entrance and exit and can be more quick. Avoid blocking fire lanes or even parking in handicap areas. That's just not good. And you don't want to get a ticket because then it's just going to eat into what you already just earned. At night, I pay close attention and park in well-lit areas and trust your gut. If something feels off at a drop-off or even at a pickup, it usually is, and just be careful. For big shopping centers, sometimes it's smarter to park once and walk to multiple nearby restaurants if the app is sending you stacked orders. And if it is a stacked order, sometimes it's easier to walk than to keep getting in your car and driving, depending on where you're at and if you're in a downtown area. You have to sometimes fight with long lines and people everywhere, and your patience might run thin, but it's okay. Know what you're getting yourself into on Black Friday and that there can be more chaos than normal. A lot of dashers like me work multiple apps. On hectic days like Black Friday, multi-apping can either boost your earnings or just make everything more stressful. You have to be comfortable with multi-apping. If you're not comfortable with multi-apping, you might want to keep it to one simple app just for that day to keep your peace of mind. If you are newer to multi-apping, it might just be better just to stick to DoorDash on Black Friday so you can focus on learning your market and behaviors and different trends, so that way you know exactly what to expect next year and it might be less overwhelming. So is Black Friday worth it for DoorDash? Honestly, it depends on your market and your patience level, and if you have the order volume to see if you can get some decent orders. It can be good if you work the right hours, pick the right zones, and save some of your declines for some of the crap orders that might actually come in. Don't put yourself into any crazy, unsafe situations. Just keep it simple and work the app. If you're new to DoorDash or if you're new to multi-apping, if you're an experienced dasher, multi-apping might be the way to go to keep the flow of money coming in. Use this Black Friday to pay attention to what works, what doesn't work, so that way you're not guessing next year if you should work it or you shouldn't. So let me know down in the comments, are you working this Black Friday? And if you have worked in the past, what do you expect out of this coming Black Friday? And do you think it's going to be busy, or are you just going to skip it and take the day off? I do a lot of DoorDash information videos, and you might be looking for more videos to watch. I'm going to suggest this one up next. I'll see you over there.